You know those games that just click with you more and more the longer you play them? Not just games you grind, but ones that actually feel deeper, more fun, or just plain better the more time you put in? Maybe you could be finding even more hidden details on 4th playthrough that you noticed. Well, that's what we're talking about today. So basically, games that truly get better the more you play them. Let's check them out. Elder Scrolls Skyrim. This game is like a giant adventure playground that just keeps getting better the more you stick with it. When you first jump in, it might feel a little overwhelming because the world is huge. You've got snowy mountains, creepy caves, bustling cities, and even dragons flying around to scare the heck out of you. It's kinda wild at first, but that's part of the fun. At the start, your character's pretty weak, like a baby deer learning to walk. But as you play more, you get to pick what kind of hero you want to be. Want to sneak around like a ninja thief? Sure. Or maybe blast enemies with crazy magic spells? You got it. Or just go full-on warrior mode, smashing stuff with a giant hammer? That's an option too. The way you level up your skills and stats feels supernatural, so it's never boring. You're always getting stronger and more skilled, which makes tough fights feel awesome when you finally beat them. But here's the real kicker. Skyrim's world is packed with tons of side quests, hidden treasures, and secrets. You might go into a cave thinking it's just some random dungeon, but then BAM! You find this crazy story or a weird character that makes you go, wait, what? Plus, the NPCs, the people in the game, have their own little lives and stories, so it never feels like a boring, empty world. You'll learn their drama, help them out, or just mess around causing chaos if you want to be that guy. And dude, the game has this weird magic where the more time you spend, the more you notice all these tiny little details that make the world feel super real. Like you might pass the same town 100 times, but one day you catch a new conversation or spot a hidden path you never saw before. It's like Skyrim's alive and it's always got something new for you. Plus, if you're on PC or even consoles, there's tons of mods that can totally change the game, like adding new quests, better graphics, or even turning you into a vampire or a dragon yourself. So it's kind of like a game that never ends. So yeah, if you want a game that keeps giving you fresh stuff and keeps getting better the more you play, Skyrim's one of the best out there. It's like a huge story that you get to write yourself, and honestly, it's just plain fun to get lost in that world for hours on end. Perfect for when you want to escape reality for a bit and just go wild in a fantasy land. The Witcher 3. Here's the thing, the game isn't just about slashing monsters. Nah, it's way more than that. At first, it might feel like you're just walking around talking to people and killing bad guys, but as you get deeper, you start seeing there's a whole world of stories happening all around you, like little movies you get to be part of. The world is massive, like seriously, huge. There's snowy mountains, dark forests, bustling towns, creepy swamps. Each place feels different and alive. You'll run into all kinds of folks, from friendly villagers to shady bandits to nobles with secrets. The conversations feel real, like you're chatting with actual people, not just NPCs reading from a script. You make choices in these talks, and these choices actually matter. Sometimes it's not just good or bad, it's kinda in between and complicated, like real life, and your decisions can change how the story goes, so it's never the same playthrough twice. Now, about the quests. Man, these are next level. You get some quests that look simple at first, but they twist and turn with surprises and emotional stuff. Like, you might start by helping a farmer and end up caught in some big political drama. Or you find a lost kid and suddenly you're in a monster showdown. The writing is sharp and funny sometimes, but also gets deep and serious. Plus, Geralt has this dry sense of humor that makes things less heavy.
So many questions, so few answers.
Combat starts out pretty chill, but then you learn there's a lot going on. You use swords, magic signs like little spells, bombs, and potions. Some monsters are scared of fire, others hate silver swords, so you gotta think ahead. It's not about mashing buttons fast, it's about knowing your enemy and using the right tools. Plus, as you level up, you get to build your character how you want. Maybe a sneaky assassin or a tough bruiser with lots of armor. One cool thing is the crafting system. You find recipes and materials as you explore, then you can make better gear and potions. It feels really satisfying to upgrade your swords or brew a potion that helps you in a tough fight. Oh, and don't forget the side stuff. You can go play cards, it's actually fun, go horse riding, or just explore caves full of hidden loot and creepy monsters. There's so much to do and it never feels like a chore. Basically, The Witcher 3 is one of those games that keeps giving the more you play. You think you've seen it all, then bam, a new quest or place pops up and blows your mind. The story pulls you in, the world feels alive, and the gameplay keeps you on your toes. It's kind of like a really good book or TV show, but you get to be the star. If you dig games that make you want to keep exploring and messing around for hours, this one's a no-brainer. Plus, Geralt is just a cool dude to hang with. What's not to like, right?
See how I've reeled her in? Now don't fuck this up.
Red Dead Redemption 2. So Red Dead Redemption 2 isn't just fun because it looks good or has cool guns. Nah, it's the kind of game that really opens up the more time you put in. Like at first, you might think it's just riding horses and shooting bad guys. But as you keep playing, you start noticing how deep everything is. The world, the story, even the little things you didn't catch at first. Red Dead Redemption 2 isn't just some game you breeze through once and forget. Nah, it's like a slow burner, the kind of game that really shines when you put in the hours. At first, you might just be riding around, doing story missions and thinking, okay, this is cool. But as you keep playing, stuff starts clicking in ways you didn't expect. First off, the world itself is massive and full of tiny details. The more time you spend wandering around, the more cool hidden stuff you find, like secret camps, weird characters, or random events that pop up. These little things make the world feel alive, not just a backdrop. It's like the game is constantly rewarding you for being curious. Then there's the gang. At first, they're just NPCs helping you out or giving missions, but the more you hang with them, the more you learn about their backstories, personalities, and struggles. You start actually caring about them, and that makes the story hit way harder. It's kind of like hanging with real people, not just game characters. You get emotionally invested, and that's what makes the whole experience stick with you. Gameplay-wise, it's also not just shooting and riding. Over time, you learn how to play smarter, managing your resources, hunting better, upgrading your gear, and building your camp. That progression feels super rewarding because you see your character and your gang grow stronger as you do. Plus, the horse bonding system is surprisingly deep. Taking care of your horse changes how it behaves, which makes you feel connected to it. Who knew horses could be your best buddy? And dude, the story isn't a simple one and done, it's full of twists, side quests, and moral choices that you start noticing more and more as you replay or explore. You catch details you miss, and suddenly things that seemed small at first turn out to be important. It's like peeling an onion, but less crying, more wow moments. Also, Red Dead 2's pacing is kinda slow, but that's what helps it grow on you. It's not about rushing through, it's about soaking in the vibe, the music, the scenery, and the characters. The slow pace lets you really get into the Wild West world without feeling overwhelmed. The more time you spend, the more you feel like you're actually living there. So yeah, bottom line, this game gets better with time because it's not just a game, it's a whole experience. The more you play, the deeper you dive into the story, the world, and the characters, and that makes it stick with you way longer than most games. Trust me, give it some hours, and it'll grab you in ways you didn't expect.
Loyal to what matters.
Do as you're goddamn told.
It is us or him.
Cyberpunk 2077. Once you put in some serious time, it's like the game really opens up and starts showing off. At first, you're just figuring out the controls, the city, and all the craziness in Night City. It can feel a bit messy, kind of like getting lost in a new city without a map, but stick with it, dude. The more you play, the more you learn how everything works. From upgrading your cyberware to hacking stuff and customizing your character, you get better at sneaking, shooting, or just causing chaos, whichever style you're into. And that's where it starts getting fun, because you can play so many ways, and the game kind of rewards you for experimenting. Plus, Night City itself is a beast. It's huge and packed with side quests and random cool stuff that feels way more alive once you explore more. At first, it's just lights and neon everywhere, but then you start seeing the little stories around every corner. Like, you'll meet some wild characters who might not seem important at first, but end up being major parts of the story, or just super fun to hang with. The main plot is cool, but the side missions and character arcs, they're full of surprises, choices, and twists that make you want to keep playing just to see what happens next. Also, the game keeps getting better with all the patches and updates. The bugs are way down now, and the gameplay feels smoother. That means you can enjoy the crazy tech and cool futuristic toys without getting super frustrated. Basically, Cyberpunk 2077 is like a party that starts slow but turns into a wild night once you get into it. The more time you spend there, the more you understand the rules, the characters, and the cool stuff to do. So yeah, give it some time and it'll totally grow on you.
No fun. Max tech. Time to tilt out.
Elden Ring. This one's the ultimate gets better the more you play kind of game. Like, at first, they're probably getting smacked around by some random tree monster 10 minutes in and thinking, bro, what did I just sign up for? It's rough. The game doesn't hold your hand at all. No big flashy tutorials or map markers telling you exactly where to go. You're just dropped into this huge fantasy world like, good luck, buddy. But that's the magic. The more you play, the more you get it. Like suddenly all those weird weapons and stats and magic start to make sense. You figure out how to build your character your way, whether you want to be a sneaky assassin dude, a tank with a giant sword, or someone who nukes everything with magic from 10 miles away. And once the combat clicks, oh man, it's so satisfying when you finally beat that boss that's been wrecking you for hours. Plus, the world itself is massive and full of secrets, and I mean full. You'll think you've seen it all and then bam, you stumble into some hidden cave or an underground city that looks like a freaking galaxy. Like, whoa! You're constantly rewarded for being curious and brave, and don't even get me started on how cool it feels when you go back to early areas later on. Stuff that used to be terrifying is suddenly like, psh, get out of here, I'm built different now. You can actually feel your progress in a big way, and that's awesome. Basically, Elden Ring starts out tough as nails, but the deeper you go, the more epic it gets. You grow, the world grows, and your brain's like, yo, I'm a genius when stuff starts clicking. So yeah, if you give it time, this game doesn't just get better, it levels up right along with you. Baldur's Gate 3. So here's the thing, BG3 starts off cool, yeah, but it doesn't really explode until you get a few hours in, like when you actually start exploring, building your squad, learning all their baggage, because every one of your party members is basically a main character in their own right. These guys aren't just there to stab goblins and look cool. They've got trauma, secrets, goals, and sometimes they'll fight you or each other about stuff, and you're stuck in the middle like, guys, can we not fight while I'm still poisoned? The longer you play, the more you realize how deep the game is. It's not just kill bad guy, go next quest. Nah, man. Your choices actually matter. You say the wrong thing, someone might dip from your party, or worse, turn on you later, and the game remembers what you've done. That random elf you helped in Act 1, she might save your butt like 30 hours later, or she might be dead because you sneezed in her direction. Who knows? And then there's the combat. At first, it's like playing chess but with fireballs. Slow, a little scary, maybe you keep clicking the wrong button and your robe just punches a werewolf. But the more you play, the more you're like, okay, if I sneak up here, throw this oil barrel there, light it with a candle, and then hit him, ooh, genius move. It's super satisfying once it clicks. Also, dude, the writing, the world building, nuts. Like, there are moments that feel like you're inside a freaking movie. Some scenes legit hit you in the feels, others are just pure chaos, like having a romantic moment in the woods while a giant owl bear watches you. Yeah, that can actually happen. So yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 doesn't just get better, it becomes a full-blown obsession. One of those games where you're like, let me play for 30 minutes, and suddenly it's 3 AM and you've made zero progress because you were busy flirting with a vampire and arguing with a talking brain. But you loved every second of it. Just give it some time, let it breathe, and once it hooks you, oh man, you're in for a wild, amazing ride. Persona 5 Royal. Oh, Persona 5 Royal. This one's a slow burn, but dude, once it gets going, it's like, oh, okay, now I get why people are obsessed. At first, it's kind of weird, not gonna lie. You're this high school kid who gets in trouble for doing the right thing, which is super messed up, and boom, you're sent to Tokyo to live with a grumpy dude who runs a coffee shop. You're like, what even is this game? One minute you're taking exams, the next you're fighting shadow demons in a magical castle that's actually your gym teacher's twisted brain. Yeah, it's wild. But here's the thing, the more you play, the more it clicks. The story just keeps leveling up. Every new character you meet has their own drama, their own backstory, and most of them are going through some real messed up stuff. And you're not just watching it, you're helping them work through it. It actually feels personal. Combat's turn-based, which sounds kinda old school, but once you get the hang of it, it's super slick. You're not just hitting attack over and over, you're figuring out weaknesses, swapping personas like a Pokemon trainer with style, and pulling off team-up attacks that look straight up anime as heck. Now, Royal adds a ton of stuff that makes the second half of the game way better, new characters, new events, and that extra semester? Game changer. Like, you think the story's over, and then damn it, surprise twist, and you're sucked right back in. It's one of those games where the deeper you go, the more you're like, wait, this game's not just good, it's kind of legendary. You start out feeling like a nobody, but by the end, you and your Phantom Thief crew feel like family. Stylish, butt-kicking family. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. This one's kind of like opening a super thick fantasy book. Like, you look at it and go, what is even happening here? But the deeper you get, the more it just clicks and turns into something super special. First, it's all, okay, cool outfits, giant swords, weird British accents, and you're just walking around big open areas fighting monsters that have names like Murderous Wolf level 85, while you're only like level 5. It's a bit overwhelming, not gonna lie. But the story, man, that's where it sneaks up on you. Start with these two groups of soldiers who literally hate each other, like day one enemies, and then they get forced to team up. Total enemies to bros and maybe a little more energy. And as they travel together, you start learning why their world's so messed up, why everyone's stuck in this war, and who's actually pulling the string. It goes deep, like deep.
Heaven life is lost. I won't let you soldier all alone. What good filling up?
The combat, okay, it's real time but with strategy, you know? You're managing a whole squad, switching between classes, setting up big combos, and once you figure it out, it feels awesome. Like, yes, I am a genius tactician, kind of awesome. And dude, the vibes in this game, immaculate. Beautiful landscapes, super emotional music, characters that actually grow and change. At first they're just anime kids with big weapons, but over time, they turn into real people you care about. The more time you spend with it, the more layers you uncover. New abilities, new regions, new heartbreaks. It starts off slow, sure, but the payoff? Totally worth it. It's one of those games where you hit the 40-hour mark and go, wait, I'm only halfway? Let's go. Monster Hunter World. At first, it's kind of like, okay, cool, I smack dinosaurs with a giant sword, but dude, give it time and you'll be out here doing full anime combos on dragons with weapons bigger than your whole body. Early on, it throws you into this big jungle and says, here you go hunt stuff, and honestly, the first couple hunts feel a bit clunky. You're like, why does swinging this weapon feel like I'm dragging a fridge? But then you start learning the moves, you upgrade your gear, and you're suddenly pulling off sick dodges, chaining attacks, and absolutely bullying these giant monsters. It feels good, man. And don't even get me started on the gear. Every time you take down a big beast, you turn its bones and scales into new armor and weapons. So not only do you get stronger, but you look cooler. Like, yeah, this hat made it out of a dragon's face. The more you play, the more monsters pop up, and they start getting wild. Like 1 second, you're chilling with a big old T-Rex, and the next, a flying Thunder Panther dive bombs the party out of nowhere. Every fight feels like its own boss battle. It never really gets old. And once you really start diving into the systems, like learning monster behaviors, setting traps, eating the right meals before fights, it turns into this whole strategy game with big heck yeah, I'm a pro energy. So yeah, Monster Hunter World starts off feeling a little slow, but once it clicks, dude, you'll be hooked. It's one of those games where the grind feels awesome, not boring. You're always working toward that next cool weapon, that next crazy hunt, and somehow it just keeps topping itself. Dark Souls 3. This one's a straight up roller coaster, dude. Like the kind where you hop on, instantly regret it, but by the end you're like, yo, let's go again. Okay, so here's the deal. The first few hours, brutal. Like no hand holding, no warm welcome, just here's a sword, go die a bunch. You're running around, smacking skeletons, falling off cliffs, getting cooked by dragons, and you're like, yo, what is this game? But here's where it flips. The more you play, the more it makes sense. You start understanding the timing, the rhythm, the enemies, the shortcuts, and suddenly it's not just a game anymore. It's like a dance, a really violent dance, but still. What's wild is every death teaches you something. Like, you get slapped by a boss and you're pissed, but then round 2 hits and you're dodging, blocking, and countering like a pro. You feel yourself getting better, and that is where it gets super addicting. It's not even about the loot anymore, it's about proving to the game that you're not trash. And let's not forget the world. It's the vibe in this game is next level. You walk into this huge broken castle with ash in the air and dead giants everywhere, and it's just like, yeah, something horrible went down here. But the game doesn't spoon feed you anything. The story's there, hidden in item descriptions and background details, so it feels cool when you piece it together yourself. Also, big respect to the game for making literally every victory feel earned. You don't button mash your way to glory here. Nah, you gotta fight for it, sweat for it, yell at your TV for it. But when you finally crush that boss you've been stuck on for days, man, best feeling in the world. You feel like a god. So yeah, Dark Souls 3 starts rough, not gonna lie, but the more time you put in, the better it gets. Not because the game gets easier, you just get smarter, stronger, smoother. It's like training in a harsh dojo, where the sensei is secretly proud of you, but still throws rocks at your face. NieR Automata. This game is one heck of a trip, seriously. When you first jump in, you might think it's just some cool robot fight game with neat graphics, but nah, it's way deeper than that. Like, way deeper. At first you're just controlling this android named 2B, punching and shooting through these huge empty ruins with robots everywhere. It kind of feels like, okay, this is cool, but maybe a little basic. That's where you would be wrong, my friend, because as you keep playing, the story starts hitting you with all these wild questions about what it means to be alive, what makes you human, and why you even fight. It's kind of like a sci-fi philosophy class disguised as a video game, but way cooler and less boring. The gameplay itself? It's a wild mashup. You get some hack and slash action, bullet hell shooter stuff, even a bit of platforming thrown in. Keeps you on your toes, you know? And it never feels like the same thing twice. The controls are slick, the combat's smooth, and combos look super stylish. What really makes NieR Automata shine, though, is the story and the music. Dude, the soundtrack is straight up gorgeous. Like, I caught myself just stopping to listen sometimes, and the story, it's told from different characters' points of view, so you gotta play through the game multiple times to get the whole picture. Each run peels back more layers, and the ending hits you right in the feels. Also, it's got some humor too, so it's not just all doom and gloom. Sometimes the characters say the funniest stuff. Like, the little flying robot buddy is a total smartass, and it's hilarious. Honestly, the more you play NieR Automata, the more you realize it's not just a game, it's kinda like an experience. It messes with your head, makes you think, and the gameplay is always fun enough to keep you hooked. So yeah, if you're down for a game that gets better the more you dig in, this one's a killer choice, dude. Just be ready to feel all the feels and maybe question your existence a little. No big deal. The dead cells. At first you might feel like, man, this game is hard, and yeah, it's meant to be. You gotta be quick on your feet, dodging attacks and learning enemy patterns, but as you play more, you get better at figuring out the timing, what weapons work best for you, and how to sneak past or take down those annoying enemies. It's kinda like leveling up in real life, but way more fun and with pixelated swords and magic. What's really cool is how many ways you can customize your runs. Sometimes you'll find a crazy fire sword that burns everything, or maybe a bow that shoots ice arrows and freezes bad guys in their tracks. Mix and match your gear to fit your style, whether you're a sneaky assassin or a total beast who likes to charge in swinging. The game lets you experiment, which keeps it fresh even if you've played 100 times. Oh, and the bosses? They're total showstoppers. Each one feels like a mini final boss in itself, with unique moves and attacks that make you sweat. The first time you fight them, you'll probably get crushed, but when you finally learn their patterns and beat them, it's like you just unlocked a secret achievement in real life. Super satisfying, and it gives you mad confidence for the next part. The visuals are kind of retro pixel art, but they're smooth and colorful, which makes the whole thing feel alive. The animations are slick too, like when you roll or slash through enemies, it just looks cool and feels awesome to control. Plus, the soundtrack is on point. It's got that intense, pumping vibe that keeps you hyped up while you're running and gunning through the levels. It kind of makes dying less frustrating because the music is so good you want to keep playing. So honestly, Dead Cells is one of those games that sucks you in. At first you might get wrecked a bunch, but as you get the hang of it, it becomes this crazy fun loop of one more try, and then suddenly, hours have passed and you're still going strong. It's like a workout for your brain and reflexes, but way cooler because there are monsters and lasers. If you're into fast, action-packed games that challenge you but don't get boring, and you like trying out new weapons and strategies all the time, Dead Cells is a must-play. Just don't blame me when you find yourself hooked and losing track of time. Seriously, dude, it's that good.